I just finished working with a sales organization about leveraging the power of the interval of life, which is what we help define in the HumanOp technology, of their entire sales force to optimize their performance, improve their productivity output, and recognize the specific roles each person should have and what should be expected. Over 20 years of research has revealed that human beings, like nature, go through different seasons. And nature actually provides different kind of like levels of energy and focus from one interval to the next. We all have recognized certain people who fully took advantage of certain times of their life. And we probably ourselves have recognized there are some intervals of life that we wish we could probably redo again now that we know a little bit better. What if you could take the guesswork out of that, right? So on the sales team, we had people who were in their 20s, we had people in their 30s, we had people in their 40s, and we had people in their 50s. And I said, look, you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 different intervals of life at play here. And if you set the same expectation in terms of mindset and performance out of each interval of life, this is why you're having problems getting the performance ROI that we talk about, which is every human being's an investment and there's a specific ROI we want from them. This is why the sales organization I was talking to was having problem getting the output they were looking for. So just to break it down, if you've taken the assessment and you know what your interval of life is and you actually looked at the results that explain that, then you probably already know which interval of life is relevant that you're actually in right now. People who are just coming out of college, they're just rolling off the assembly line, they're exploring. They're in an exploratory phase in their life. Think of it as the caterpillar reaching that final stage before it goes into a cocoon, right? 30 to 34-year-olds, they're in the middle of spinning that cocoon, going into what we call the most transformational time of their life. This is the time of life, and this is what was relevant when I was talking to the team leader, that the ones in their 30s were like invincible. They went out there, they were trying things, they fell down, they got up, and they just like seemingly unscathed. They had all the energy in the world. And so the problem that sales organization was having, it was setting those high-powered individuals in their 30s as the standard. Now, if you're building a sales organization and that's all that you want, then make sure you don't have a wide range. But if you have what you have, then this will give you better insight on how to optimize the unique dynamic of what's going on. The 40-year-olds, those are the adults. You know, what we found is adulthood truly doesn't set in until 43. And so the 40-year-olds, they were very clear, they were very aware and cognizant about energy management and making clear decisions and taking the time to make sure that they actually don't just go out there breaking through walls thinking that they can just make it. There's this awareness, we call it the awareness interval because there's an awareness mortality, awareness of limitations. But this is what true adulthood is all about. So you start to make clear, very precise, efficient decisions. The 50-some-odd-year-olds were the ones who are already done building that empire. They're done building that massive portfolio. And there's a couple of them that weren't in the right positions because they were still expected to be out in the field when the best use case of them was to have them leverage their wisdom. From 52 on, we call it the pay it forward interval. And that means they are already kind of getting to that point where they're thinking about, the mindset is different. It's about, how do I package my wisdom? How do I pay it forward? Right? How do I create a legacy? And in that sales environment, it's those people who have the experience already to be able to help guide the 20, 30, and 40-year-olds, right? So after our long conversation, they realized the guy was saying that I didn't realize the interval of life was such a critical component to take into consideration. I just figured if you just take care of yourself, doesn't matter what age you are. It's like, yeah, but it's more than the energy piece. It's also the mindset. It's also where we human beings naturally go during the different intervals of life, the different seasons of life. Think about a caterpillar. Your mindset as a caterpillar is just to eat, and explore. But then your mindset of that caterpillar as it goes into a cocoon is very different. It's not thinking about eating at that point. It has all the power in the world to transform, to explore the vast limitation or the vast lack of limitation every human being has during that period of time. That's where people get married, get divorced, have kids, change careers, do really big things. Then when they emerge at 43, That's when adulthood kicks in. Again, another mindset shift. And when I was describing it to this team leader, he realized as he was kind of playing out and remembering how he shifted from one interval to the next up to where he was currently today, he realized the truth of it. Intervals of life do matter. So if you kind of like brushed over that and didn't get a chance to dive in there and really recognize, are you living to the optimal potential of your interval of life? Because that will pay dividends if you recognize what interval of life you're in, so you can set the proper expectations of yourself of what you can do, what you should consider to not do, and all the different areas that'll help you become more and more optimized for the interval of life that you're in.